guys, Vance here from Pro-Line Racing. We're finally back with another shop talk. Today, we're talking about Promoto-MX wheels and tires. All right, let's start with the different types of wheel standards that we got going so far. So this is your stock Promoto-MX wheel that your bike came with. And right at release, we released our Supermoto wheels, which are much smaller in diameter to accommodate a big, wide Supermoto tire, front and rear. And we got some other tires that fit those now as well. Then right after that, we came out with the V2 bead. So this is the bully spoke wheel, and we're calling it a V2 bead. So anytime you see a V2 bead on the tire or wheel, this is what it's talking about. It's similar in diameter to a stock wheel, so it's meant to be a motocross or off-road wheel and tire package, but we've narrowed up the rim, widened the bead, and thickened the spokes for durability and for a little bit better look. All right, and we got one other wheel. It's probably the thumbnail of this video, but you have to stick around for a minute to see more details on that. All right, so let's talk tires. At the time of this filming, we're in mid-2024. These are our tire options, but our tire line is constantly growing. So right now, we have the whole shot. So this part number 10216 and 10217, these are the whole shot front and rear. These fit the stock Losi Promoto-MX wheels only. They're not cross-compatible. So these are made of a soft compound. This is one of the longest running and most successful tread patterns across multiple platforms in 8 scale and 10 scale. So if you're looking for a competition race tire, it's the whole shot. All right, next, the Supermoto wheels. So right at launch of the bike, we released the Supermoto tires and wheels. And there's a whole video on that. You guys can check it out if you want more details on those tires, but they're great for street bashing and street racing. And next we came out with the hot lap tires. They also fit the Supermoto wheels, and they fit the Supermoto wheels only. So these are sort of a dirt track, flat track inspired tire, but they'll also kind of work everywhere. You can run them on the street as a street basher. They'll go in the dirt a little bit. So if you're racing oval or you're just street bashing, general dirt, gravel, street bashing, hot laps are awesome. All right, so lastly for our Supermoto wheels, we mounted our Roost MX to the Supermoto rear wheel. That just gave us more room for this big giant paddle. So if you're running on sand or snow, the Roost MX is what you want. These next 3 tires fit our bully spoke V2 bead wheels, and all of them are licensed Dunlop replica tires. So first we have our MX33 front, our MX33 rear, and our brand new MX14 rear. So the MX14 is becoming super popular in outdoor motocross, professional motocross, amateur motocross. And so we brought that here to the 5th scale, and it's a scoop tire just like the real one. So if you find yourself in a very loamy or sandy condition, this thing's gonna work great. The MX33s are a great upgrade from your stock tire. They're kind of a general purpose motocross tire. They'll work great on anything from a hard pack to a pretty loamy condition. So all these tires come pre-mounted to the bully spoke wheel, and they're in the CR4 compound, which is a harder compound. It's kind of a general use compound. But if you're looking for traction, they also come unmounted in M2, which for the motocross bike is very soft. It'll get great grip on anything from asphalt to like slick hard pack, all the way to an intermediate sandy condition. So that covers all of our current tires, but look out for more releases coming for the V2 bead soon. We got one more wheel to show you guys today. It's what you've all been waiting for. These are the Prospec aluminum wheels for the Promoto-MX. In our first release, we've got them available in 3 different color combinations. They've got a ton of cool features, so let's get into it. All right, let's get it unboxed and I'll show you some of the features. So they've got an anodized aluminum hub and rim, steel spokes, and my favorite part is this plastic removable tire mounting sleeve. So the tire mounting sleeve makes this wheel super easy to use and change tires, and it does match our V2 beads. So any tire that will fit the bully spoke wheel will also fit this Prospec wheel. So these wheels aren't just super scale and pretty to look at, they're also super tough. We've been beating on them for months and testing now. And you can flat land huge jumps, you can come up way short. You'll break the bike long before you'll really hurt these wheels too bad. They are a little heavier than a plastic wheel would be, but the bike seems to like the extra mass down low and a little bit of extra gyroscopic effect. So the handling is actually pretty good. Now these are true spoke wheels. They come tightened and trued. Now we're gonna do a complete truing, lacing video separately. And we got some 3D printed fixtures that'll help you assemble your wheels and get them laced. But for now, They do require a little bit of maintenance if you run them a lot, so I'm going to show you how to quickly tighten your spokes. All right, so if any of you moto guys are watching, this will sound really familiar. We don't have like a valve stem to reference off of, so I'm just going to grab a Sharpie and mark any spoke just to give me a reference point. And so what we're going to do here is really simple. We're going to check the tightness on that spoke just with an M2 hex wrench. And you don't want to, if it is loose, you don't want to tighten it more than maybe like a quarter turn. So I'm going to check this one, and then here's the whole trick here. You're going to skip 2, 1, 2, hit the third. Check that one, skip 2, hit the third. And you're going to go all the way around, skipping 2 until you come back to your mark. So you're going to go all the way around. When you get back to your mark spoke, you can move down to the next spoke. Check that one. Then you're going to do the same thing. Skip 2, check the third, skip 2, check the third, and so on, all the way around. And you're going to do that until you've hit every spoke and you turn them no more than a quarter turn at a time. So you're probably wondering, how does this tire mounting sleeve work with the tire and the wheel? So let's mount up a tire and I'll kind of explain it as I go through. So the tire mounting sleeve has this notch in it, and it lines up with a key milled into the rim. And it only goes one way. It is directional, so before you glue a tire to it, think about which way the tire is going on, because you could do it backwards. So what I'm going to do is line up this tire mounting sleeve on the wheel. Then I'm going to hold up the wheel. I'm going to imagine it on the bike. So I got my brake rotor on the left here. So I imagine this is the left side of my bike. And this MX33 front is directional, and it's got a little arrow on the sidewall somewhere here. There it is. So I'm going to line up the rotation direction with the direction of the wheel, and then I'm going to mount it here like this so I know I'm not making a mistake. So I don't recommend gluing the tire on the tire mounting sleeve while it's assembled like this, because if you spill a little glue, it might get between the sleeve and the actual rim. So now that I know I've got it on correctly, we'll just slide it right back off and glue it at this point. So this is just like a standard RC flat bead. If you need a tutorial on that, we got tons of gluing tutorials. They're all over YouTube. Super easy bead to glue. I do recommend using rubber band on these because the foam is a little bit packed out. So once you get your tire glued, to get your sleeve and tire onto your rim, it's very critical. You can do it wrong. We're going to start with the non-keyed half of the sleeve and the keyed half of the wheel. We're going to put those together, and it should go halfway and then stop. And once it stops, you'll line up the key in the wheel with the key in the sleeve, and it should wiggle right in. It should slide in with just a little bit of friction. If you have to force it, you're doing it wrong. So the sleeve is held into the rim with 6 screws. Now there is a little bit of a trick to this. I'm going to start with 3 on this non-brake side. Doesn't really matter which side you start on. I'm going to get them started. Just take their M2.5 screws, which takes a 1.5 millimeter hex driver. So I'm just going to run them halfway in. The screws are at an angle, they oppose each other, so if you tighten this side too much, it might pull the sleeve in one direction. So we're just going to start those 3. All right, so then we're going to flip it over and start the screws on the other side. Just get them all started, make sure they're properly into the sleeve. And once you get to this last one, we know everything is started. I can run it all the way in. Then just run the rest of the screws all the way in. And now it's fully secured to the wheel. This process is exactly the same for the rear wheel. The front wheel does not reuse the stock rotor bolts, so it includes flatheads and sleeves that adapt the stock rotor to the new hub. So if you've driven the Pro Moto before, or you're into motocross, you know how quickly a rear tire can get worn out. That's sort of the magic of this Prospec wheel system. It's super easy to swap a tire. So I'll show you how I'm gonna swap from this MX33 to an MX14. Once you have the sleeve unscrewed, the wheel slides out. You slide the new one on. Throw the screws in and you're ready to go. That's a complete overview of all the products we currently make for the Pro-Moto-MX. Thanks for watching this episode of Shop Talk. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below on what color combinations you might like to see the Prospec wheel in next. What color hubs and rims would you put on your dream bike build? For more information on the Prospec wheels or anything else we make, visit prolineracing.com.